one of the most disgusting places on earth. Let me know if you guys can hear me. I'm at a place called Fear Man Slaughterhouse in Burlington, Ontario, Canada, where they gas. Yes, they gas baby dogs. They gas baby dogs. They put them in a gas chamber, a CO2 gas chamber. If you don't know what that is, it's a chamber that they use to so-called stun these animals. And it does stun them. It actually stuns pigs. And what it does is it's so painful that the pigs, they pass out. Hey, Martin, some call me Fur. Guys, thank you so much for being here. It's a freezing day. We didn't want to be out here, but we feel like we had no choice but to get out here for the animals. Let me know if you can hear me. Hit like, smash that like button, tell your friends. It is absolutely freezing out here today, but it is nothing compared to what those pigs are going to go through. As I mentioned, a gas chamber. It's a CO2 gas chamber. What it does is it burns their skin, their eyes, their lungs. It burns so much that they pass out. And the UK government actually called for a ban on these gas chambers. And then when the farmers had outcry, they decided to continue to allow it. And so if you can imagine, a government just by economics alone decided that it's okay to burn pigs alive and have them suffer in gas chambers. Guys, say hi when you get in here. Hey, Lembretta, Martin Geezer. You guys got that thing going on. So we are at Fear Man. If you can imagine, they called the place Fear Man, Fearman Slaughterhouse. It's a slaughterhouse that gasses 10,000 pigs every single day, if you can imagine. This road is called Harvester Road. So it harvests the dismembered body parts of innocent sentient baby pigs. You can imagine. Guys, let me know if you can hear me. Let me know where you're from, where you're tuning in. Once again, this is called Fear Man's Slaughterhouse. What they do is they put 6-month baby pigs into gas chambers and it burns their mucous membrane. So it essentially it's like putting a lighter to your skin, but all over your body. So these pigs, they panic. They even try to bite off their own limbs inside these places. Our friend, his name's Joey Carbstrong, produced a video called Pignorant, to show people how ignorant they are towards what takes place. And so what happens is they go into this chamber, they lose their utter minds because they're being burned alive, guys, burned alive. You can't even imagine what that might feel like. And if you can think about another time in history where they might have done this, where they burned living beings alive, let me know what you think. Hey, Jake, hey, Mel and Steve. Guys, I'm at the most disgusting place you could ever imagine. A place where they burn baby pigs alive. So there's this documentary called Pignorant. It's on Amazon Prime. And it shows you the truth about what happens with your food system. So we're going to try to get a closer look here. This is one of the trucks. One of the trucks here, guys, where these poor pigs are just suffering. It's absolutely freezing out. You can't even see them because they're putting their butts towards the vents because it's so freaking cold. So freaking cold. Guys, why do you want to do this and put living sentient beings through this? They're crammed in there. They are absolutely freezing, absolutely scared. Can you imagine? This is what we do to living sentient beings. They're put into gas chambers, everyone. Gas chambers on this disgusting hell truck that's going to this death camp. And they do 10,000 a day. So 10,000 a day, guys, all in these death trucks. They go into this place called Fear Man on Harvester Road. So how can't people put that connection together? People didn't know. I'm an ex-slaughterhouse inspector. I used to actually work in this disgusting industry. I was told my whole life you had to eat animals. My entire family. This guy's giving us thanks for being out here. Guys, let me know where you're from. Let me know if you can hear me okay. I've got my mic attached today. And people say they love bacon after seeing that. So reasonable people that are watching this wouldn't mock animals. You know, they'd probably, even if they thought they had to eat animals, they might like look for better welfare reform or some shit. But you know, they go after vegans. So, but there are reasonable people here that don't think in that way, that are kind of like weighing things out. But I guarantee you, most people that looked at those pigs on the truck, the death truck, weren't saying, I want to eat them. Like Mike here, for example. Mike, you know, maybe he's worked in a slaughterhouse. Maybe he looks at his dog funny, you know, like a little slanted at his dog. Maybe he looks at him like he wants to eat him or something. This is the kind of mentality we're dealing with, guys. People who think this way. And so we have some incredible activists out here today. Whitney and Jarena. Out here, earlier I checked the temperature was minus 12, feels like minus 17, I think it was. And so we're just out here sharing the truth about our food system. So guys, if you're vegan, hit 1. So we're getting a lot of people honking their horns, thanking us. Hit 1 if you're vegan. Hit 2 if you're someone considering change, and hit 3 or lower if you're a total loser, animal abuser. No, I'm actually, I don't understand why it would matter if I had a job or not. I'm retired, but I'm not sure why that matters to you. If you're working right now, shouldn't you be talking to your employer, like your employer? I'm mentally ill, dude. Why am I mentally ill if I don't want to put pigs into gas chambers, Mike? Mike, why would you want to put a living sentient being into a gas chamber for your yum-yums, right? Colorectal cancer, higher risk of all-cause mortality, a class 1 carcinogen. I mean, would you give your children cigarettes? That's equivalent, right? Would you give your children ammonia? It's the same thing. Like, figure it out, bro. Figure it out. You don't have to eat bacon. That's not a health food. It's disgusting, and it's torturing innocent pigs. If you didn't see them, it's fucking like minus 12 out, and they're going into a gas chamber. You can't ever imagine what that would feel like, Mike, right? You can't even ever imagine what that would feel like living in your little privilege. So you hunt. So you pick off little innocent animals, Josh. You pick them. There's my muscles. So you pick up little innocent animals for your what? Pleasure? For your trophy hunting? It's not mandatory. And most of the animals that you hunt are farmed. So you get your little ticket and you go and pick off innocent animals just for fun. There are hunters that have changed. Hunter Toby Hunter, his name is literally Hunter. He was taught from a young age that it was okay to shoot innocent animals, but then learned that he didn't have to. So now he's an animal rights activist. Why don't you go talk to him? Uncaged, Empty the Cages, I think is his name. Toby Hunter. He's been on a number of interviews. He teaches people, hunters, that they don't have to be a part of this. So we're in Burlington, Ontario. I'm an ex-slaughterhouse inspector. Oh, this guy's giving us a thumbs up. I wonder if I can give him a card here. Give him a card here. Give you a card?
So young.
Cheers. So I gave him a card. We call them the Jenny McQueen outreach card. Holy shit, it is fucking freezing out here. The truck that just went by, I didn't even mention how bad the smell was. These animals are confined in what they call as farms or barns when they're glorified sheds. They live in their feces. Can you imagine having to live in your feces and urine? And, you know, I'm going to get a little graphic today. I'm a little pissed off that these poor innocent animals that have to go out to slaughter. I'm always pissed off about it, actually. But, yeah, so on some of these farms, a lot more than you might think, what they do to like dominate these animals, what they do to like, yeah, that's right, Don. I'm telling the truth, but they hang them inside these barns. They'll have they'll hang a pig every once in a while, just to like kind of control the other pigs. It's pretty awful. Like I've seen photos of it and I've seen videos of it. I may have seen it on a farm, and it's common. So a lot of these pig farms, especially, what they do is that they hit their heads against the ground, or they hit them with a blunt force trauma, like an object. So they'll smash their faces, their heads on the ground. Hey, Axel, let's go, brother. Guys, go follow Axel. He's incredible. Go follow Jake. Go follow It's Mel and Steve. Go follow Martin. I'm sure I'm missing a few guys. If you're an animal rights activist and you're a YouTuber or any other kind of social media presence, just let people know you're here and go follow them. So they literally torture these pigs on farms. They cut off their tails. They rip their teeth out. If you can imagine, they rip their teeth out. And so rather than get like veterinary care at these places, they trust the farmer, and the farmer will actually smash their heads against the ground. If you go to some of these farms and, you know, there's dumpsters that are on public property, you just open up the dumpster and you'll see carcasses, but so many dead bodies of these animals that were just killed because it costs too much to like get them the veterinary care that they would need. So Mike keeps saying I'm mentally ill. For what, Mike? Sharing the truth? I'm an ex-slaughterhouse inspector, and we're out here showing the truth about our food system. So you think that nothing I say is true? Let's go debate the topic. 15 years I spent in animal agriculture. I grew up in the industry, so my entire family worked in it. So I'm just telling the truth. Yeah, they rip their teeth out. Rip their teeth out. They cut their tails off. They put them in gas chambers. That's where we're here today. It's called Fearman Slaughterhouse. This is a place where a driver, so triggered by what's happening, ran over someone named Regan Russell for holding a sign. That's how triggered this industry was. This industry is so triggered that they put laws in place to block our fundamental freedoms of expression, literally trying to block our legal right to whistleblow on farms. Imagine if that went to every other industry. Imagine that went to an old age home where if someone whistle blew, that they would get fined and maybe thrown in jail for whistleblowing. How bizarre. This industry doesn't want transparency. And these guys like Mike and the other guy saying he was a cattle rancher with username, blah, blah, blah. These are like faceless accounts because they don't want to show who they are. Of course they won't show who they are because, you know, they don't really have an argument, guys. They really are the people that try to get these laws in place. They're generational wealthers, or they're being scammed by these massive corporations like Purdue, the company that has cried about a woman rescuing 4 chickens worth $24 and puts her in jail because the CEO had a hissy fit. And so if you keep coming at us, animal agriculture, Purdue, all you other Tysons, Cargills, all you disgusting murderers, if you keep coming at us, we're just going to multiply. When Regan Russell was killed, you wouldn't even imagine how many new activists came as a result of that. So you guys can assault us, you can hurt us, you can try to kill us. I mean, there will always be another activist. And the more you go at us, the more it's going to spread all over social media like fire. We had a guy come at me. You can see it in my videos. We had a guy come at me just for filming like I'm doing right now, losing his mind. And he's not the only one. This happens quite often. So I'm talking about Fearman Slaughterhouse in Burlington, Ontario, Canada, where they put 6-month baby pigs into gas chambers. They literally put them into gas chambers so people can get their little fix or yum-yums, which is ridiculous. Most people have never met their victims, never met a pig, never hung out with one. And if you did, you'd find out they're gentle, kind beings. They just want to live just like us. In fact, all the pigs you eat are genetically engineered. They're nothing like the pigs in the wild, so that's maybe something people say. People ask if you wear leather, like there isn't alternatives. I mean, I don't know how many times I've freaking showed my shoes, my belt, my hats, my clothing. We absolutely have alternatives. We're here just showing the victims, guys. The victims. Hey, guys, sorry. Hey. How you doing, guys? Guys, if you wouldn't mind hitting like, smashing that like button, hit subscribe, turn on the bell notification. I go live quite often. We just combined I think it's over $13 million, or 13, I wish $13 million, 13 million views on YouTube just for going out to these places, creating reels and going live. I myself just hit over the 1 million view mark, bringing a lot of different people to slaughterhouses. And people wonder, you know, why do you keep the trolls around? Well, it's funny because the trolls actually boost engagement. And it's amazing because they don't even realize that they're helping reach larger audiences. So they comment in here like mentally ill or bacon or all these things. Meanwhile, it pushes the algorithm out more and you get more reach. So thanks, trolls. Eventually, when I have enough subs, and if you are following and you are a troll, I'll just delete you or I'll block you from my channel. So have fun helping me grow and stop being a total loser, animal abuser. Guys, hit 1 if you're vegan. Hit 2 if you're thinking about change and not being like some of the losers in the chat. Or hit 3 if you are a total loser, animal abuser, and support gas chambers and baby pigs being put into them, as well as baby chickens and other animals. So guys, don't be a 3 like this guy. Can you imagine admitting that you are for animal torture and abuse? These are all faceless accounts. They would never show their face. Someone admitting that they are for animal torture and abuse. They would never do that, right? They wouldn't have a t-shirt that says, I'm for animal torture and abuse. Yeah, they'll do that in a chat because they can get away with it under a faceless account because they're scared of change. And I understand, like, I went vegan 12 years ago and I didn't even know what the word was. But I was able to change and figure it out that I didn't need to eat animals. And then my world opened up to how I was lied to. It's fucking lied to. And we all are lied to. We learn from a young age that we should move away from this. These people are trying to like put in these these questions. It's amazing. It's amazing how these trolls live with themselves. But guys, just so you know, people working in these places often suffer PTSD, turn to drugs and alcohol. And so if you have to, like, can you imagine if you killed all these animals and then someone came to you and said, listen, by the way, we don't need to eat animals. Of course, people are going to be triggered. People are going to get mad. They're going to be upset. They're going to say the craziest things. They're going to talk about tradition and culture. Even though all these animals are genetically engineered Frankenstein babies, I mean, they're given copious amounts of antibiotics, drugs. They have plethora of diseases, parasites, like all these things. Like, and look at, like, imagine, like this guy, Mike, right? He'll probably do, I've looked at some of these guys, he'll do 50 or more commenting, you're mentally ill, dude. Like he'll do it 50 times. So like, what does that say about somebody? I'm almost 100% sure Mike is either taking lives, he's either making money off of that or hunting, something like that. And so he's just triggered, right? He doesn't want to accept responsibility, and he'll use any excuse, just like Boiling Frog talking about abortion. But Boiling Frog will pay for mother cows' flesh or their milk. Meanwhile, mother cows get sent to slaughter quite often, still pregnant, so farmers can make a little bit more profit. So it's absolutely wild. And people are saying, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm an ex-agriculture inspector. 15 years I worked for the Canadian Food Inspection Agency. So you guys can talk all you want about, I don't know what I'm talking about. We all know. I don't need to have worked where I did to know what's right and wrong. Quite literally, we learned that as children. My nephews, like, they know better than that, to teach beings with kindness and respect. Like, quite literally, we learned that at a young age. And people are coping. It's crazy, right? Absolutely crazy. So we have a few activists here. They're out here all the time. They come out here to show the vehicles in the community that we don't need a factory that has warnings for ammonia spreads that's polluting the waters around. We don't need these disgusting factories here. We can move to organic farming. We can move subsidies that way. Vertical farming, precision fermentation. There's a lot of different ways we can move. Oh, you're a legend too, Mel and Steve. Guys, go follow Mel and Steve. They're doing wonderful things. These guys are offering some cash. How you doing, man? Guys, hit like, hit subscribe, tell all your friends. We need to abolish these disgusting industries. They are absolutely disgusting. Like, look how triggered Randall is. Clearly, probably worked on a farm, probably does nefarious things to animals. Happens quite often, a lot more than you can think. There's been a few exposés talking about what some farmers do to the animals in a, type of way. Probably can't even say that. Look at Mike again. Mike, another, you're mentally ill. So this guy's talking about weird things here. And so we have a truck coming up. Hopefully we'll be able to bear witness. Every once in a while I will block people. People like swearing at us. People are pathetic. Get a fucking job. Get a job. And that's the other thing too, is like these people are telling activists to get jobs. Well, what are they doing? They're watching us. Get back to fucking work, guys. Get back to work. The hell are you doing? Your employer's paying you and you're trying to troll. But in all honesty, a lot of people are kind or they're just unsure. And they're polarized sometimes by these, what the goal is for these baby trolls. They're polarized by them and they're like, what's going on? Why would someone be so angry? Well, they're likely the people that have taken the lives of these animals. They're likely the ones that have killed them and profited off of them and tortured them and smashed their heads like they do with baby pigs. They smash their heads on the floor. Can you imagine that? They smash their heads, their skulls on the floor. And you see this driver, he sits back, right? So that affects traffic because this company just does not want you to see the truth. They don't want you to visualize what happens to the animals. And they play games. And he shakes his head playing games. I don't know why. If you're proud of what you do, then be proud. Be proud. Like, can you imagine how cold that is on that innocent being's body there, right? Can you imagine? And he just rips the truck around the corner. What an abomination. What an abomination. Look, and then he tries to go risking the cars. Like, look at the ears, guys. Imagine minus 17 on your ears down a highway. And this guy's triggered, taking a picture while he's driving, guys. Taking a picture while he's driving. I hope I got that on camera because I certainly saw it. So, like, what's there to hide? Be transparent. This industry talks about how kind and transparent they are. They love their animals. These animals live the best lives. Imagine your ear or your head outside a window on a highway at least 70 miles per hour. Imagine that. Imagine that was you with your head out on the highway going through that. Absolutely disgusting. And then this driver taunts us, and then he also rips around the corner, almost causes an accident down here, right over here, and you can see it on the stream. And then he takes a picture of us while he's driving, turning the corner. Talk about how triggered and emotional those drivers get just for filming what's happening. I mean, there's cameras all over the place, right? There's a camera right up there. There's cameras everywhere in this world. There's a camera right up there. And he's worried about us showing pigs. And so this is what happens. Why can't you be transparent? I say open up all slaughterhouses. I say open up all farms. We should know exactly what happens with our food system. We should be allowed, right? We're adults enough to know, right? We're adults enough to know what takes place. So open up. Stop lying. Stop telling us that this is acceptable, because it's not. This isn't acceptable. We shouldn't tolerate this as a society. Not acceptable. And then someone drives by bacon. Like, this isn't acceptable. These are living beings, sentient beings. Imagine the fear, the terror right now. And they're going to be put into a CO2 gas chamber. If you've ever burned yourself, guys, imagine that being all over your body. Imagine lighting your body on fire. That's what a gas chamber does to you. And if you don't believe me, if you want to see for yourself, there's a documentary called Pignorant on Amazon Prime. You can see for yourself exactly what the poor pigs go through. You guys can see exactly what the pigs go through inside a gas chamber. What does that remind you of, guys? What does a gas chamber remind you of? Guys, burning living beings in a gas chamber. What does that remind you of? And there are survivors who have been through this, who have witnessed this type of situation, and they say this industry reminds them of that. If you guys can think of the word, Guys, hit 1 if you're vegan. Hit 2 if you're thinking about change, because those are people that matter. The rest really don't. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Uh, it's really freezing out here. People are triggered. They're upset. A lot of people make a lot of money off this industry, or they're just triggered because they don't want to change. And, you know, like, it's upsetting for people to change sometimes, and sometimes that's understandable. But if once you learn, once you know better, you should change. You have to change. Otherwise, you're supporting torture. You just saw the pigs on the truck. We got Sweden and vegan based. I'm not wild. I'm just telling the truth. I'm an ex-slaughterhouse inspector. I used to work for the Canadian government. I was told my whole life we have to eat animals. My entire family worked in this industry. And this is the disgusting hellhole place. The place is called Fearman's Slaughterhouse. Can you imagine that? Fearman's Pork.inc. So we use these words like pork or steak or bacon. You know, these words, right? Hot dogs, right? They're not even dogs, but, you know, maybe some would consider pigs like dogs, right? They can run around. Some pigs are even more intelligent than dogs. So why do that to innocent sentient beings? Thank you, Axel. Guys, if you don't know Axel, go over and subscribe to his channel. He's on Discord, he's on YouTube, he's out in the streets, he does it all. He sings, he has music. He's somebody you want to follow, guys. Please hit like, hit subscribe, double tap that heart button as much as you can. We are trying to spread this out to the world. We've hit over, I think it's probably close to 13 million views just by standing at slaughterhouses all over the world. We do something called Project Livestream. If you want to get involved and get active, you don't need a lot. All you need is your phone, 50 subscribers on YouTube, and you can go live and we can help you get there. We have a support chat. It's at Project Livestream. We got another truck coming. Stay tuned, guys. It's going to be coming up right now. So it's at Project Livestream, or you can DM me, or it's at Mel and Steve. And we can help get you involved. Get active. Get out there for the animals. You saw the pigs. They need more people out. All the animals need more people out. I was at a veal. They called it a veal and lamb slaughterhouse. Veal meaning baby cows, calves, that people execute because people want to think they're baby cows, which is absolutely insane, guys. And so we got another truck here. My hand's about to fall off. The smell is rancid. Look at that. How insane is that? We got some weird things being said in the chat. These guys just, you know, run lights whenever they want, just to hide, right? Just to hide. How sickening is that? How sickening and twisted is that? So after this, they're going to go into what's called a CO2 gas chamber. It's everything you think it could be. I remember my first time going into one of these places and seeing the pigs, and one of the pigs reached out, like turned around towards me, and I actually reached down with my hand, and then I stopped myself. I was being trained as an inspector, and it was crazy because like my instinct was to go to them, but I also didn't want to show that I had empathy for the animal in that moment. So because I was surrounded by inspectors, I was surrounded by employees, and that would have maybe broke some sort of code or something like that. And so like in the moment, you know, I felt the need to go down to pet the pig, but I didn't. And meanwhile, this guy was prodding the pigs to get onwards to the gas chamber. And as you got closer, the screams got louder. And if you go to one of these places, you're going to hear the screams. You can even hear the screams from the street. You can hear the screams from the street, and it's absolutely crazy. Once you get closer, and then like you walk into this place, you know, your heart's beating like so fast, and then all you see, like the door opens up and you see this chamber like literally plop out all these bodies right onto the floor, and they're like just there's basically no life in them. Then you start to hear screams and you're like, holy shit. And then these guys are hanging up the pigs and they're absolutely like decapitating their entire head off. And some pigs are twitching. Some pigs are coming too, but because of the speed, they just cut off their heads anyway. And so if inspectors go and do their job, which it's really a token position, actually, if they go do their job, you know, I would imagine there would be a lot more of these companies getting in trouble because they don't actually, they aren't supposed to come to, so to say. So they wake up and they're still being axed after they've been gassed, after they've been on a disgusting truck, after they've lived 6 months without seeing the sunlight inside a fucking shed. Can you imagine? You're born, you never go outside until it's minus fucking 17 out, and then you go to a gas chamber. And this is your first time smelling fresh air. Can you imagine that? And the biggest thing I remember when I was an inspector is the way the animals looked at me, the hens, the chickens. I would walk around these trucks. Part of my job was to walk around the trucks. And what would trigger a further inspection for me is the amount of dead birds. Not a single individual, but if there was a certain percentage of dead birds. So it was like 5% when I first started. It's down to 2 and 1% now, maybe less, I don't know. And so that's hundreds, right? And even then, I would fill out a report, I would take pictures, I would bring dead bodies to a necropsy area where the vet would cut them open right in front of me to determine cause of death. It was very clear on a day like today, these animals are shitting and pissing all over each other. So that creates moisture and they're going to freeze, right? They're going to freeze to death, especially chickens and hens. There's body heat that's created. So oftentimes they would tarp the birds, but then the birds on the inside would all be dead because they would suffocate due to heat. So like Canada, especially, and the upper US, the laws do not protect these animals. They do not at all. It's absolutely insane. It's absolutely insane how these animals are treated. And these farmers and you know these people that make money, they go on and they say these animals are treated okay, they live good lives, but yet they support what I just told you. And then there'll be some of them will be in the chat. And the other issue is that these people will support these psychopaths. They won't tell on them. There's so much nefarious stuff that happens that you wouldn't even believe. And these farmers, because they want to save their business or not make their business look bad, they see things and they don't even report it. I've talked to so many farmers. I talked to one farmer who was begging us not to reveal that this guy was beating his cows daily and daily and daily because he knew he was the only one near that farmer. He called out that farmer, but he was scared if he told on the farmer that the farmer would go and do something to him. And it's no surprise, right? They kill innocent animals in these facilities. They kill innocent animals. They kill them on farms. If you go out to these farms, you're going to see bins full of dead bodies, carcasses beside these buildings. They even bury them on site, graveyards of all these innocent animals because they couldn't afford a vet or they didn't want to do something in a different way. It's crazy. It's madness. There's no way you could even think about this if you created the worst horror nightmare scenario. This is real life. These are innocent beings and they're being treated like this. Guys, let me know where you're from. Please hit like, hit subscribe. We need to get these types of messages out to the world. Tell the truth about what's happening. Be kind, compassionate. And if you're thinking about change, challenge22.com. That will give you meal recipes. That'll give you a free dietitian, free support. It's not mandatory to eat animals. 12 years vegan. Lori Rob, they're all like 20 years. This guy just flies up. Holy, wow. This guy just flies up. Crazy. And hear them screaming. They're freezing. Just hear that? Absolutely freezing. Insane. Insane. Running a red light as usual. So that's what these guys do. They run the red lights. They're never in trouble though, because they don't want to have, the police don't want to be mandated with having to take care of this situation because there was someone killed. And Regan Russell, this industry has a lot of pull, right? So they can just drive over sidewalks, they can kill people, they can do whatever the hell they want. They kill animals, they're generational wealthers, they create laws that support them, but again, how can you claim to care about an animal when you do what you do to them on farms, when you do what you do to them on transit and in slaughterhouses, like the pigs? That's the only time they're going to smell fresh air. The only time they're going to smell fresh air. And in this freezing temperatures, you saw all their backs towards, right, the vents. Can you imagine how fucking cold that is? Why don't you go and drive on the highway when it's minus 12 out with your head out the window or your hand out the window? See how long that will last. Let alone they're going to go into a gas chamber right now. First time outside. First time these pigs will ever see a reflection of maybe the sun if it's out. Insane. Insane. So if you learn about this, there's a 3-minute movie challenge listed below. Go watch the truth. Go see the very truth. It's only 3 minutes. You can see standard industry practice. It'll tell you exactly what happens in this industry, exactly what takes place, guys. And once you learn, you should change. You have to change. I mean, how could you? Live on oxygen, 12 years vegan. Like, look at these comments. Chino, live on oxygen. So, like, are you saying, Chino, if you developed an allergy towards animal flesh, say the Lone Star tick bit you and you were allergic to the sugars in animal flesh, would you just call it a day? You think you would just have to live on air? Give me a break. Grow up, man. These people aren't coping. It's all cope, right? These people aren't kind. They're selfish. They don't want to accept responsibility. Especially ones that go in the chat and say stupid shit like that. Like, I know plenty of people that aren't vegan that maybe have started to think about these things. They would never say the shit that some of these people say in the chat. It's fucking insane. Disgusting. The smell here, guys, you wouldn't believe it. Imagine what that does to the environment. You know that people working in these places, most of them are marginalized. Most of them are immigrants, refugees. They traffic children to work in these places. They traffic children to work in these fucking places, man. Migrants, refugees, you done? Okay, guys. Thank you so much, Dave. Much love, guys. Thank you. Don't stay here on your own too long. No, I won't. I won't. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Appreciate. So my co-activists are taking off. You cannot mute me, blah, blah, blah. So, guys, I'm out at a place called Fear Man. Can't make this shit up. Fearman Slaughterhouse in Burlington, Ontario, Canada. This is a place that killed someone named Regan Russell, who is an all things rights person. She stood up for women's rights, all sorts of rights, especially animals. She would come out here on her own sometimes and just hold a sign. Very quiet, docile, and yeah, some dude decided to run her over because she was holding a sign, because one company got triggered and taught their workers to hate activists or people that simply standing here holding a camera. Kind of ridiculous. Well, so I'm not crying, but anybody who's like Colby, who's crying? You're the one crying. No, I'm just doing what's right. We all know what's right. You wouldn't go and kick a dog. You wouldn't set a dog on fire, but you're setting pigs on fire before you eat them, making them live in their shit and piss their entire life. That's fucked, man. Go in your closet and live in your own piss and shit for 6 months and tell me how you feel after that. Amazing, amazing. You low IQ. Thank you. Because if people that are eating animals are high IQ, I don't want to be like them. That's fucked. A lot of people doing a lot of bad things, but a lot of people don't know, right? Tried what? A lot of people don't know what happens. So what happens with these comments and these people that come in, they're like little swarms. They come in, they work together. They're like messaging each other. They try to derail activists. They try to like censor activists. There's a couple companies. Consumerfreedom.org is one of them, and also Humane watch.org, I think, two lobbies, industry lobbies, that in their about section actually spread misinformation campaigns. They actually stated in their about that they're against vegans and they'll do whatever it takes to disseminate our message, which is kindness and compassion. So they literally send out thousands of misleading articles. One in particular that I remember, well, two. One was the Beyond Meat, talking about all the things that were in Beyond Meat. And so they've done studies on not regular, but cow's flesh and versus Beyond Meat. And they found that the Beyond Meat was slightly healthier. And so amazing, because what this industry failed to do is to put the chemicals that were used, the drugs, the antibiotics, the potential pathogens and diseases that the animals had, and also the other stuff that's in animal products, which is amazing. It just said meat, right? Yeah, it didn't talk about gas chambers, that's for sure, or chlorine, or the microbiological chemical sprays to try to kill said pathogens. Fucking mental. And so that's one of the campaigns they did out there to try to spread misinformation. The other one was what was it? Shit, now I can't remember. Pretty amazing that you have dedicated companies that are paid by animal agriculture to try to spread misinformation. It's wild. It's absolutely wild. There was a recent, I'm not sure, like I'm still unsure if this person was real, but they came out saying that Animal Ag pays individuals to go spread misinformation. I'm pretty sure that does happen. He was saying that he was one of them, but I don't know for sure. I can't be sure. But yeah, it's crazy. Crazy what these companies do. So like there's like things like avian influenza, porcine epidemic diarrhea, mad cow disease, swine influenza. These things are taking lives, guys. Taking lives. We're just on the precipice of like a global pandemic that could just wipe out everyone, or wipe out like a good portion of our population, make the last whatever the hell that was look like an exercise, and people want to pay for it. They claim they love their families, they claim to love their loved ones, but yet they're feeding into pandemics. They're feeding into this. This guy's like 10 feet away from the street. Why do this to somebody? Why do this to somebody? You don't have to be a part of this. You don't have to do this. Why be a part of that? Can you imagine? This is their first time outside, and this is what they got to go through. How insane is that? How insane is that? Like on this death trucks, there's certain victims of an industry that would put people on death trucks, and somehow humanity justified it. That's why I think if humans can move away from putting humans into... So this guy is on his phone driving and tried to taunt me with his truck. Kind of crazy, right? So this is what happens, guys. Violent industry creates violence, but this industry claims that they're good, that they treat the animals. Sometimes they'll even say the animals live better lives than humans do, which is amazing. I was just online with another guy, a guy recently on Discord, and he was saying that the cows live out their whole lives, the lambs live out their entire lives, saying all these things, which is complete nonsense, right? It's a joke. Saying that the chickens live out their lives and then they kill them. It just makes zero economic sense. Beard Weird, I've been on more farms than anybody in the chat, I'll tell you that much. I've been to more slaughterhouses as well. Find me somebody who's been to more slaughterhouses and more farms. You won't. And I'm vegan. Figure that one out. And I worked for the government in taxpayer-funded government that was supposed to monitor food systems, but it was just a token position. I realize that now. People think that they're doing good in those jobs, especially that position. No, it's there to make people feel better about their food choices. Oh, we have an inspector on site. Meanwhile, there was some other guy saying that, oh yeah, these places are FDA monitored. Well, I don't think the FDA monitors them. I think it's FSIS. And also having the food inspection services out there, they only monitor a percentage of the trucks. They're not going to monitor all the trucks. So it's kind of crazy. Yeah, veg heads. Exactly. Exactly. Guys, I'm at Fear Man Slaughterhouse. Out here telling the truth about what takes place with our food system, something we can easily move away from. I've been vegan for 12 years. My mom, my aunt, my uncle was an inspector. My grandfather was an inspector, and then I followed suit. Didn't realize maybe at 19 what I was getting into, but now I realize like I was lied to, much like everyone else. We're lied to. This industry makes up things. It lies. It claims that it's that we have to eat animals somehow, or we're gonna lack something. You guys can check out the video that I recently made. It's, you know, in my shorts there with the turkey, the human turkey, and how ridiculous some of the arguments are, because we walk into these conversations all the time. So it's really cold out today. But there were a few activists that wanted to be out here today just to show that we're in support, that we can end this, and that there are kind and compassionate people out there. Not everyone's going to change. We realize that. But if we get enough people to change, you know, the system will collapse on itself. Some people are just, they can't, right? They can't mentally, they're not open-minded, closed-minded. But there's a lot of people on the fence and a lot of people that haven't seen what takes place or been to a farm or been to a slaughterhouse or been to a sanctuary. So a lot of people just don't know. They really don't know. And so the ones that are working in this industry are probably in the chat. They make money off of these things. You imagine they make money off of pregnant cows. They send the pregnant cows to slaughter, sometimes still pregnant, so humans can steal their breast milk. It's insane. The pigs, the baby pigs that show little signs of distress, or maybe they're not doing so well, instead of calling in a vet, farmers will take their legs and smash their heads on the ground, sometimes multiple times. And so you'll go out to these places, and farmers know this, so it's nothing new to them. but they'll smash their heads on the ground. They'll have dumpsters or graves full of all these dead bodies, rather than bringing in, say, a vet to try to help the animal or try to get the animal into a different spot or maybe let the animal live. No, they kill them. And I was mentioning earlier, I don't know if you were here, but in order to dominate some of these animals, they'll hang pigs. They'll hang pigs so that way the pigs listen to them when they're trying to move them into different pens in different areas. If you didn't know, these mothers, they crush their infants. They put them in these crates that are this small. They can't even move. They can't even turn around sometimes. Sometimes they'll stand up and they'll fall on their babies. They're just impregnated all the time, like pregnant slaves. We're going to impregnate you. And then oftentimes they'll just throw the mothers in a dumpster after they're done with them. Absolutely insane. Pregnant slaves are, you know, all the females are pregnant slaves pretty much, like in any of the industries, right? Can you imagine that in a human context? You wouldn't have that, right? And so, guys, check out the 3-minute movie challenge. Check out the description, the 3-minute movie challenge. It's been posted a few times. Go follow that chip guy, Vegan Anthem. Follow these animal rights activists. They're just doing what should be done, and should be standing up for these innocent sentient beings. I'm retired, Mar, whatever your name is. I don't know why people have this obsession with jobs. They're probably out there at work right now trolling me and ripping off their employer. I don't get it. Get a job. Yes, go vegan or else. Exactly. Jason, go follow Jason. Go follow Martin. Guys, get out there, get active. We do something called Project Livestream. We've done 5 of them already with millions of views, which is incredible. Getting the news out to a whole bunch of places. We're going to slaughterhouses all over the world. We're sharing with the world what takes place in these disgusting hellhole facilities, these monstrous facilities where they execute baby animals. Quite literally, they put them in gas chambers. I'm going to say most animals that you eat are put into gas chambers. Can you imagine gas chambers that burn their skin? Imagine if you lit a lighter or you were set on fire. That's what they do to the animals before they chop at their necks. Some of them come too. It's crazy. Or they put them in electrical baths sometimes. They'll come to in the electrical baths, and people are saying, no, that doesn't happen. Well, prove it. I'm an ex-slaughterhouse inspector. I've worked in all the facilities and I've seen it firsthand. This doesn't take rocket science to learn that and know that. Even the 3-minute movie challenge or Darius Scary will show you the truth, as Martin put in the chat. Guys, wake up to the inevitable. This is going to change one way or another. Don't be that person on the dark side of history. Don't be that person that just followed the social norm and accepted it, like slavery back in the day, or that women didn't deserve rights. All these things. Be progressive. Move away from eating animals. We don't have to. It's not necessary. 12 years vegan here. If I can figure, if a simple person like myself, like people say I'm dumb, I have low IQ. If a simple person like myself can figure it out, then you clearly have way more of an advantage of figuring it out than I do, okay? And I didn't even know what veganism was at the time. I had no idea. I just knew I wanted to stop eating animals, and then I did, and I didn't die. What do you know? He must have been raised in a cult. Yes, sure, cult. Mind you, if I was still an inspector and I still ate animals, would you say the same thing? Like, ridiculous, man. These things, right? People need to do that, right? Because what's the alternative, right? You have to accept responsibility. And if you're someone who's taken lives, what does that say? You have to be responsible for every single life you've taken. People don't want to do that, right? That's a scary thing to think about or do, right? Guys, let me know how the stream's going. It looks like it's glitching a little bit. May have to restart it. Guys, if you're vegan, hit 1. If you're not vegan, hit 3. And if you are someone thinking about change, hit number 2. Stream's good. Thank you, Martin. I won't repeat that, but that was pretty funny. Yeah, so we got a lot of ones, threes. I got a 2. That's great. A couple 2s. Threes. Go watch the 3-minute movie challenge. It's right there. 3 minutes of your life. If you're a farmer or if you're somebody who works in slaughterhouses, we've seen many as ex-slaughterhouse workers change. I have many that reached out to me. Guys, PTSD, drug, alcohol addiction. You aren't the same person that you once were. Taking lives has a mental toll on you. It affects you in more ways than you can even know. I didn't even know how bad it was affecting me until I was kind of forced to go see someone. And I learned that, yeah, I had a lot of trauma that I didn't deal with. And people want to joke about it or say that's not a thing, or they want to self-diagnose. I've had that a lot of times, people self-diagnosing. Meanwhile, you know, they're suffering. They're not the same person they were. Again, marginalized people are used to work in these places. They used to have prisoners. They would in Guelph, Ontario. You could still see the prison. It was adjacent to the slaughterhouse called Better Beef, now Cargill, and they would make prisoners work in those places. Can you imagine that as a punishment as well? It's pretty awful. It's pretty disgusting. So we don't base our morality on lions, though. I don't. People continue to say that lions lick their own junk. They sniff rear ends. I mean, that might be some people's kink, but the majority of people wouldn't do that. They wouldn't base their morals on what lions do. Protein, though, you know, that's very easy to get. I've never really met somebody who's dying of lack of protein. It's just these industry lies like humanewatch.org and consumerfreedom.org or whatever. These companies want to lie to you. They want to make up this misinformation. You're going to be missing something. Oh God, yeah, you're going to be missing something. Yeah, you're going to be missing a freaking heart. Like, quite literally, actually, the more you eat animals, the more animal products you eat, the higher risk of all-cause mortalities. But that's not why we're vegan, right? That's not why. Exactly, Lenny Bruce is in the house. Guys, go subscribe over to Lenny Bruce. This guy kicks it for he's out there every day for the animals. He will talk to people in the streets about wearing fucking fur. Guys, people still wear fur. Can you imagine? Go, go to Lenny Bruce. He will show you how to be an activist, how to change the game. We need more activists out there in the streets. Yeah, it's fucking freezing here today, but we got to be out there, guys. We got to be out there for the animals. This is the only way it changes, is more of us speak out. And quite honestly, I never felt comfortable in front of a camera before. Never thought about these things. Never wanted to be in front of a camera, to be honest. And now I'm here. So guys, let me know where you're from, which city, or you don't have to tell me which city, but maybe which state or country. Uh, where are you guys coming in from? No, again, we have other products that we can wear, not wearing animals' flesh. Like, there's a thing called Google. Just Google, are there vegan shoes? And you will find vegan shoes. Uh, Cargill is a great company. Wow. Yeah, go talk to the guy that I talked to, who almost took his own life for seeing the things that he did. I've been inside the Cargill slaughterhouse, seeing mother cows shot in the face, screaming for their lives, having babies cut out of them. Cargill's such a great place, causing more drug addicts, more alcoholics, and more violent communities. Not to mention polluting the waters around there, like fucking disgusting. This guy says they're donating. They're donating to people that are getting sick from eating more animal products. This is the one company I worked for actually here for a number of years. Look at fresh on farm, but yet they're sending all these poor chickens down the highway, minus 17, freezing to death, and their feces and urine freezing to crates and shit like that. It's an abomination, absolute abomination. So guys, please hit that like button, hit subscribe. I'm going to be probably going live a number of times this week. So turn on the notification bell. You can see me at a bunch of different locations. It's going to be happening all week. So on Thursday, there's a disgusting place that tests on dogs. Yes, they test on beagles, cats, and mice. They test on these innocent animals for disgusting corporations that just want to make money off of people for needless products. So this guy, clearly triggered, needs to tell me how he feels. This is what happens, right? People get triggered. They don't know how to react. And maybe sometimes people have a conscience after they realize they were stupid for saying such a stupid thing. So they test on these animals, this big corporation. So we're going to be out on Thursday. On Friday, I might be out at another location that tests on animals, as well as another disgusting nightmare facility place like this one called Fear Man Slaughterhouse, where they execute 10,000 baby pigs every single day. That's after they put them in a gas chamber, after they've given them copious amounts of antibiotics when they were living in a factory farm in a shed and never saw the sunlight. That's what happens to the pigs you eat, people. You treat them like garbage, and you guys all complain you're animal people, or maybe you even have a dog beside you or a cat, or like, it's insane. Maybe some of these people have mourned these animals, these companion animals, and they've mourned them while they're eating the corpse of another animal. Absolutely fucking crazy, insane. Yeah. And you see there's triggered people here. And at Read Family Adventures, why do you want more drug addicts? Why do you want more alcoholics? Why do you want more violent crime in your community? Why do you want people suffering with trauma from shooting animals in the face or cutting off their heads, decapitating them? Why would you want that in your community? Why do you think that's acceptable? All for your yum-yums, for something that you clearly don't need. Absolutely insane that people think this is acceptable. So once you know more, you have two choices. You continue to be someone who supports animal abuse, or you don't. That's it. One or the other. You have two choices. Just two choices. You continue to support animal torture, abuse. You should just wear a shirt that says "I hate animals," or you don't. And a number of us have simply decided to put down the weapons against innocent animals and eat plant-based. Very simple. Exactly. Do you really, really respect animals? Watch the 3-minute movie challenge like Chip has put in. If you haven't subscribed to Chip, and if you actually want to have a conversation and carry this on, I also have in the description 2 channels you can go to if you want to have a discussion about veganism, or if you want to debate the topic. Someone like Chip, or there are other activists that are more than willing to have a conversation with you. We do this every day, all day. We are going to change the world one way or another. We are unstoppable. We won't stop. It's just as simple as that. And we're getting a lot of people on our side. We're getting a lot of views. We're getting a lot of people changing. We see it in our messages. Plant-based products globally are on the rise. This industry is dying. I just found out that the so-called beef industry or cow industry is actually falling down. It's falling apart. It's it's on its last legs, I think. Maybe, who knows? Get how this animal is treated. Look at that. So once again, guys, we don't have to be a part of this industry anymore. We can very easily change. We don't need metal death trucks. We don't need to support violence. We don't need to support torturing animals. It's just as simple as that, guys. We can very easily move away from slaughterhouse trucks, from creating drug addicts, creating alcoholics, creating trauma, um, executing innocent animals, breeding them into existence by the billions. Um, it's you couldn't imagine making this story up. Like, what kind of person thought it was okay to create a gas chamber in the first place, and then to burn these innocent beings alive, just for economic reasons, to increase line speeds? Because that's what happens. Like, they do the same now with chickens. They realized the model for pigs was a lot better, so the UK government decided that gassing animals was cruel, and then they decided that, well, it would affect the economics too much, so we'll just continue to do it. And now they're moving towards like gassing chickens as well, and so a lot of companies are now gassing chickens. Can you imagine gassing chickens? It's absolutely insane. So you're gassing these innocent animals before you chop off their heads. And so if you don't believe me, or if you haven't seen it, you can definitely go to the 3-minute movie challenge, but you can also check out someone named Joey Carbstrong. He is an animal rights activist, and he's exposed places like this. Exposed pig gas chambers. There's a documentary called Pignorant. It's on Amazon Prime or Tubi. Also, there's on Joey Carbstrong's channel, you can see there's the chickens and what they go through in gas chambers, which is insane. Absolutely insane. Guys, please hit like. Yeah, Joey, he is very inspirational. He's nonstop, and I hope that inspires other people to just be nonstop like him. He goes and goes and goes. It's really important that we have people that do that. We need more of us out here speaking out. You know, I do it every weekend, every weekends mostly, and you know, Chip's out there all the time. Jake's out there all the time. I mean, we have so many of us out there, either supporting in the chat or also being out in the streets. We need a community to grow, and it takes a village. It's really great to have people out here helping me on the stream, like moderate some of these things and sharing the 3-minute movie challenge and stuff like that. So, yeah, and sharing the message, sharing what takes place out at these disgusting hellholes. Some weird questions. Guys, hit 1 if you're vegan, hit 2 if you're thinking about change, hit 3 if you're a total loser, animal abuser who wants pigs to be put in gas chambers simply for your yum-yums. Smash that heart button, hit the like. Let's get me up to 100, guys. Get me up to that 100 threshold. And subscribe, would you? If you subscribe, you're going to see a lot of video coming up, especially this week. Even though it's fucking freezing out, we need to be out there. Try to dress as warm as possible, but, you know, it is what it is. If you can imagine what the animals are going through. Guys, I'm going to go to another location here. If you want, stick around. I'm just going to walk over to another spot. And I'm just going to show you. You can see the cops just coming all around here today. Just going to show you the front of this place called Fearman. Fearman's Slaughterhouse. Fearman's Pork.inc. Crazy. Like the name says it all, right? That animals have to fear man. They don't feel, says Sale Hammond. Thank you. They don't feel. Who doesn't feel? It seems like you don't feel. Guys saying animals don't, dogs don't feel. You joking me right now? Amazing. Absolutely amazing. People think like this though. They want to justify their yum-yums by torturing innocent sentient beings. Uh, they just have to justify because they're too afraid to change. Boo-hoo. Oh my, I'm not going to be able to eat the same foods. Well, actually, we have incredible, you have way more options when you're eating plant-based than you do eating the same dead corpses that were covered in pathogens and disease and God knows what else. I mean, insane. Like, go walk into a slaughterhouse, man. I seen it. I used to test, I used to bring corpses to the lab testing facility. And there's such a little percentage tested, and these animals live in their feces. It would come back negative all the time. I mean, like, how many outbreaks are there? And it's very cleverly like hidden online. And how many of these companies are being charged? They're not. They're not. They're very smart industry. They've infiltrated the lobbies, the laws. They just do whatever the hell they want. So I'm gonna. Oh shit. Come on over here. And we're going to go out to the sign here and I can show you guys exactly what it says. Scary place, man. Scary fucking place. It's a place where someone was actually run over and killed just for holding a sign. Just for holding a sign, guys. Can you imagine how triggered people have to be for holding a sign? Well, these are the same people that bring these animals to a gas chamber, an actual gas chamber. And like people like Boiling Frog. Boiling Frog has probably had 10,000 comments on my channel, if not more. Same with others. But the irony is, Boiling Frog is, we let you stick around for a bit. We grow our channels. And then we eventually delete you from our accounts. Hilarious. So like, this is in a community, right? In a community warning people that there can be an ammonia outbreak. And I cannot tell you how many times I had to go outside of the slaughterhouse because there was an ammonia leak inside the slaughterhouse. Tell me, is that good for your community, your environment? Is that good for overall well-being and health? Crazy. Look at the barbed wire fences. People are like, well, they're there to prevent you from going in. Actually, no, guys. Nobody, like, what do you, if I went in, how am I going to rescue a pig? That just doesn't make sense. These are up so the beings can't get out. It's a jail. This is a jail for animals that get put into gas chambers. If you've ever taken a lighter or had a lighter on your skin, you know, you try that little thing, or if you've ever burned yourself, imagine that all over your entire body, in your lungs, in your eyes, in your nose. That's what it does. That's what this industry does to living individuals. They burn them in gas chambers, CO2 gas chambers. You can hear the screams from the pigs getting burned alive. How crazy is that? They're burned alive. And there it is. Fear man. Oh, you got some window blinds and shading, guys, because they probably don't want to see the truth. Look at that. Fear man. Yes, guys. Fear man. Murder house that gasses innocent beings with. Look at the fences. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Minor variants. What do we have here? Not surprising. Why don't they use a stun gun? It just wouldn't be practical for them. It would take too much time for them. They throw them, they stuff them in there. Oftentimes inspectors will have arguments with foremans about how many animals go into the gas chambers if they're around, because they're only allowed to have a certain amount of weight that goes into the gas. Yeah, that's why they do that. They gas them because of economic value. They're doing the same with hens now, because hens and the workers are probably like really traumatized. Because oftentimes when you take a hen out, they're freaking out. Of course, they're trying to save their own life, and so they'll flap their wings around. But as the workers are fighting with them, they'll snap their wings, they'll snap their legs, and want the animals to have their legs snapped. Or like, can you imagine that? Like going home knowing that the 20 something birds that you hung that day, you broke their leg or you broke their wing before you hung them on a shackle, or their leg ripped off on the shackle. This is what happens, and people go home with that. Why do you think the drug and alcohol addiction is so increased in these places? Because you have to live with that. And so now they've decided, well, what might be easier is we'll gas the hens. So they just go into a gas chamber and then they're like almost like dead, but they suffocate and they burn like the pigs do. So then it's easier just to hang them up that way. That's how fucked. That's how fucked humanity is. Let's find a better way rather than, how about we just try something different? How about we just try something different? So if you can look at these gates, guys, so we have these gates, we have all these signs. You're going to see when I walk up to this other sign later, you have cameras all over the place because they don't want you to see what happens inside these places. I'm all for transparency. Why not show the truth? Show the truth. Let us all have access to the insides and see what takes place, and let us be the judge. So this bill that they tried to ram through was repealed. And so parts of it were repealed. We can't stop trucks, but the whistleblowing part has been repealed. So legally, we can be on a farm or a worker. If they see some criminal activity, they can report it to police and not be fined up to, what was it, $20,000 for a first offense, just for reporting, seeing something, some animal abuse happening on farm. Even if you're a worker, this animal agriculture industry ran this bill through. In fact, they were so confident in their bill, they used to drive by us and say, fuck you, you guys are gonna have to quit activism, you guys can't do this anymore, mocking us. And then they set up a plan to kill our friend Regan Russell the day after it was passed. One day after it was passed. Yeah, maybe a virgin, who knows? The day after it passed, insane, right? Insane. So they kill Regan Russell holding a sign in the crosswalk. They murdered her because she was simply just holding a sign. Just because someone can't get over their yum-yums, their addiction, or it could be even further up to the top, which it might be, which wouldn't be surprised, right? I mean, this is a multi-trillion-dollar industry that receives heavy subsidies. This guy, you guys think this place is big? Go to the owner's house in Toronto. The guy who owns this place, Latifi, owner of Sofina Foods, this guy fucking makes, this guy's house is bigger than this slaughterhouse, just put it that way. Guy's got tennis courts, he's got swimming pools, he's got yachts, he's got all the things. Profiting off of the brain dead people who think they have to eat animals and put them in gas chambers. Insane. Just so this guy can have a bigger yacht, a bigger fucking boat. Just so this guy can put his son in F-150 car racing, whatever it's called. Just so he can put his son in F1 car racing. And you can find that online. It's right you know, it's available. Just so he can do that for his son. And all these people have to pay the price. Ammonia leaks, more violent crime rates, cancer, torturing animals, all for profits. Insane. Yeah, exactly. People are paid money. They even have lobbies. You can go to humanewatch.org. You can track them down to a lobby in DC. You can see that they're a lobby, and their sole goal is to put misinformation out there on animal rights activists. And I was just reflecting and trying to remember what one of the things I saw was, and now I remember. There used to be this picture that floated around, and it said, you know, the vegan products were left over during a hurricane. Well, it wasn't actually that. And they copied and pasted it for every natural disaster that they saw have happen. So quite literally, I mean, how many signs do you have to notice the ammonia? Must happen pretty frequently, guys. It did when I worked as an inspector. So they put out these misinformation campaigns regarding natural disasters, and people fall for it, right? They're like, oh, but like, look at this, or they'll meme it, right? It's crazy. Someone wants to eat humans because they're so triggered. Guys, if you are vegan, hit 1 in the chat. If you are someone thinking about change, just tuned in. Pigs are put into gas chambers. Go watch Pignorant on Amazon Prime. You can see for yourself what they go through. Hit 2 if you're open-minded. Hit 3 if you're someone who thinks it's okay to abuse animals. And guys, look at the 3s. I'm not even looking at the chat right now because I'm just looking ahead. But you'll see people actually click 3, which is insane, right? That people would self-admit to being animal abusers. It's pretty wild. I can't imagine. I hope that, some authority watches and these people don't have dogs or cats or something, because you can only imagine how they treat them. Probably treat them like really awful. I do have a life. I'm just trying to save the lives of these pigs and all animals. Stop viewing others as commodities. So this is where my friend was killed, right there. And look at, no cameras allowed. We don't want you to see the truth. How dare you share the truth with people? Oh my God. So she was killed here, holding a sign. The truck driver was sitting there for 5 minutes, called the police, and the police said, hey, you stick and hold tight, don't move. And what did he do? He still decided to run her over. Crazy. So there's a video called There Was a Killing. And you can see for yourself. Also, the Toronto Star came out with a 911 phone call. The 911 phone call that was concealed or hidden from Regan's family. They didn't share it in court, and it's really telling. So obviously we've been here a few times. Go vegan for Regan. There was flowers here. So many times we've been here to honor her. She's an activist for over 40 years. So these trucks, they just sit outside waiting for them to go line up to be put into the gas chamber. And so I'd imagine that has something to do with the gas. Guys, please hit like, hit subscribe, tell your friends, turn on that bell notification. Trying to get up to 100 likes today would be nice. And just so you know, I'm going to be out here and at different locations doing different events. So you guys can catch up with me quite often. So yeah, Here's me face. Just set this down over here. Ugh. So guys, if you have any questions for me, I'm an ex-slaughterhouse inspector. I worked for the Canadian Food Inspection Agency for over 15 years. Holy shit, it's cold. Over 15 years, I've seen what happens on farms. A number of farms. I've seen what happens in all these slaughterhouses. It's absolutely abhorrent and disgusting. I thought we had to eat animals, and we don't. So we're lied to. Heavy marketing campaign to tell people that they need protein or that they need this or that, or taste is more important than someone's life, you know. Pretty ridiculous, right? So yeah, I'm just out here trying to share with the world what takes place, and I think a lot of people are open to change. I think now when I go in the streets, at least people know what veganism is. They have an idea, a clue. A lot of people are deciding that they don't want to eat as much animals, or they are starting to think about these things. They'll take something like the 3-minute movie challenge. So these things are happening. Change is happening, which is great. You know, we need that to happen for the animals. We need that to happen globally. So anyways, guys, I'm going to tune out. I'm too fucking cold to be out here. But I want to thank you all for being here. If you guys want to get active and involved and start spreading the word and showcasing what happens at places like this called Fear Man that executes innocent pigs every single day. I can hear them screaming now. We encourage you to get out there. We're going to help you guys get the subs you need. It's called Project Livestream. We'll get you live. We'll get you the subs you need. We'll get you the encouragement. We have a wonderful community. We're going to put eyes on all these places. Project Livestream number 6 is December 19th, guys. December 19th, which is amazing. And maybe I'll leave you guys with this last truck. Join us December 19th. Even prior to that, because you got to go live once before you go live. If that, I know it doesn't make sense, but it's an algorithm thing. Let's get active, guys, because no living being should ever be put on one of these things. This should never exist. It's an abomination. Please get out there and get active, guys. End this disgusting industry. Thanks for being here.